Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is just a recent finds video, stuff that's come in over the past week or two. A lot of different random things in the sense that, I'm going to share a few vinyl that I found, also some deluxe CDs I've added to my collection. And I'm always picking up, regular CDs here and there because they're so cheap. But I have three in particular I did want to share this time just because I wanted to share it with you guys. So yeah, we just kind of dive into that. I really kind of liked it too when I was kind of putting the stuff on the table here to do this video, is because I think this is kind of a good representation, at least for me. It was a good representation and kind of a mirror, really kind of showing where my collecting habits are going and kind of the things I want to be collecting. So just to kind of see it laid out here on the table, I was like, yeah, I just feel really good about where my collecting is going, and where my collection is going. So anyway, just a little thought that was going through the back of my mind. But let me kind of dive into it and just share with you some of the things that I picked up. First thing here, I picked this up on a trade actually, which is Bill Withers' Greatest Hits, which as you can see is a MoFi original master recording pressing. MoFi pressings are absolutely fantastic. And it's Bill Withers, so I don't guess I have to say a ton about this. I do have pretty much all of his studio albums on. Well, I have all of his studio albums on CD, but I'm missing one on vinyl. But even having something like this, again, it's just sometimes when you don't want to flip through album to album to listen to some of the maybe bigger hits or songs that you want to hear, having these very nice greatest hits on hand is also nice, just to kind of throw it on and just let all the hits play back to back. And with songs on this, like Just the Two of Us, my three favorites, which are Ain't No Sunshine, Lovely Day, and Use Me. I guess Grandma's Hands, I gotta throw that in there too. My four favorites all on here. Lean on Me, Who Is He and What Is He to You. I mean, if you don't have any other Bill Withers in your collection, this album will more than keep you until you can maybe dive deeper into his collection. And there's the MoFi pressing. There's also some regular, I shouldn't say regular pressings, but other pressings that came out prior. So not a very expensive album to get in one way or another. So yeah, if you don't have any Bill Withers, definitely a great one to have there. Just a genius. Gotta love him. I picked up this beautiful copy of Cheap Trick, and this is Next Position, Please. Got that for only $4, which was very nice. And it's in great condition. It was actually in the shrink and had the hype sticker, which I just tucked in the back there. But there was also kind of a big nasty sticker on a price sticker on the front and blah blah blah. So I took it out of the shrink and just a great nice copy of that. I think from 1983 is when this album came out, and definitely a good album. It doesn't have any of their gigantic hits on it, but it definitely has just kind of that just the core cheap Trick doing what they do. So another fantastic addition to the collection there. Let's see, next. This is actually a replacement copy, but I was still happy to find this copy of Isaac Hayes' Don't Let Go. I'm sorry with that black background, it's putting quite a bit of glare there. But I don't know about you guys, I've stumbled across this album I don't know how many times throughout my years of collecting, but finding one with this black cover, especially with no ring wear or anything of that nature, has been virtually impossible. And I've had a few different copies, and even the copy I had now had a little bit of something right up here, but for the most part, it was definitely a fantastic copy. But then when I stumbled across this one yesterday, actually, I was like, holy cow! Exact same pressing I already had, and just found one totally mint, no ring wear, no anything. Same Polydor pressing, so that was fantastic. My favorite song off of this album is "Don't Let Go." That definitely one of my favorite top 5 Isaac Hayes songs, and it's so tough too because that song is basically it's a comedy to me at this point in time, because I remember first discovering that song watching the sitcom The Jeffersons, which was hilarious, and it was an episode where Tom and George were stripping in this amateur strip contest because they thought their wives were in the crowd and was trying to make them jealous and make them leave the place. And with all the lights in their face, they didn't realize they had already left. So they're up there just, stripping, looking like idiots, and Don't Let Go is a song that was playing. So I cannot listen to that song and not immediately go to that scene every single time. What am I going to show here next? Let's go with this one here, because this was actually a Grail search that's finally ended. The record's not a Grail. The search has been the Grail, the Grail-like search, if you will. And it was trying to find a copy of this album, which is Brick, Good High. And so I stumbled across this one yesterday, the same time I picked up that Isaac Hayes. And again, for only $5.99, I think, was on this. But this is the album that literally I've put in word with a number of different record stores to just say, hey, if you ever get a decent copy of this in, please hold it for me. And that's been like a year and a half plus in the making. Just never stumbled across it. And then last night, sure as crap, just flipping through some stuff, killing time, and boom, $5.99 right there. But Brick is well-known R&B / funk band, 70s, early 70s and the mid 70s. This album in particular has the song Daz on it, probably their most well-known song, and a song that's been sampled. I mean, if you go listen to it, if you're not familiar with it by name, you'll listen to it, and if you're a hip-hop fan, you'll be like, oh, I can name 30 songs that have been sampled just from that one track alone. I think one of the most popular ones in my mind is Ice Cube's his slam on NWA, No Vaseline, if you remember that song. That was sampled almost note for note from Daz. So yeah, I just been looking for this album forever and just finally stumbled across it. Like I said, not an expensive album, not whatever, but it's just the search has been Grail-like for me. And even though, like as you can see here, and again, I know I'm nitpicking, this is kind of just where I'm at in my collecting, has a little bit of a crease right up there. The album plays really, really good, but does have some visual marks here and there. But like, this is one of the ones where I was just like, I don't care. I will hold on to this for dear life until a mint copy comes my way someday. But yeah, really, really exciting find right there. I haven't been as happy to get a record like I was when I saw that one in a long time. I mean, it's because it just seems these days I don't experience the flipping through the stacks and like that just doesn't seem to happen as much with me digging anymore. It's usually more so like, oh yeah, I definitely need that, or yeah, I was looking for that and blah, but just like like I haven't experienced a lot of those moments in a while. More so on the CD side, actually. But anyway, that's a whole nother video, whole nother story. So that was a very exciting find. Next, we're going to go with this nice pickup too, which is Prince Originals, the new 2 LP set release, which is just basically a bunch of songs that Prince wrote that, other people did covers, and, typically a lot of them, you know them by other artists. And it's just kind of, Prince doing his own stuff. So, you have stuff like Sex Shooter, which I believe, was that Apollonia 6 or Vanity? I always get that stuff confused in my mind. I think Sex Shooter was Apollonia 6, right? Jungle Love, of course, The Time did a great cover that was their big hit. Manic Monday, of course, the Bangles. Holly Rock, Sheila E. made that song pretty big. The Glamorous Life, Sheila E. again. Nothing Compares to You. Of course, Sinead O'Connor took that to a whole nother level. I'm actually surprised they didn't also put, When You Were Mine. Cyndi Lauper had a great version of that Prince also wrote that wasn't on here. But again, it just goes to show the genius of Prince. I mean, and that's coming from someone who thinks he was like a weird dude, which of course, I definitely do. But it's just when you look at everything from not only his creativity, you can't put any of his music in a box to say it's pop, it's rock, it's R&B. It's just sounds he heard that made sense to him to lay down, you know? So just the fact you can even label his music, even when you listen to certain songs and you hear they're great and all of that, sometimes the little mind game I play with myself is, even with hearing what he did, can I still get an impression of how he came up with that in the first place? And it's like, no, even after hearing the end result, I still have a hard time hearing how you get to that from scratch. Again, just that creativity element. And I actually got into a really cool discussion with someone recently where we were talking about who is the bigger genius, Prince or Michael Jackson, which is it was kind of a really fun one too, because when going into it, I wasn't 100% sure where my answer would be. And we're talking, going back and forth, and as we kind of got towards the end of that, I said, I think I'm going to have to give it to Prince as being more of the genius than Michael Jackson. And the reason I say that is because, you know, both of them, like kind of like just describing about Prince, are so unique. You know, their delivery, their, you know, the stupid moves that Prince would do on stage, or the stupid things that he would wear. You know, let me put on some purple high heel shoes and, you know, put on a little purple tight onesie, V-necked all the way down to my belly button with my little chest hairs, and I'm only 5, you know, 4'5", you know, and the whole nine. And it's like nobody else in the world can pull that off and turn into like one of the biggest sex symbols, and you know, like no one could pull that crap off. But he puts on the yellow fur heels, and boom, coolest thing in the world. Michael Jackson kind of the same way, you know. I'll just put a cast on my hand. I just, you know, yeah, let's just put a cast on there. Coolest thing in the world. Okay, sure, I'm just gonna put on some, you know, basically half of a catcher's gear, and you know, there's the knee pads and shin guards and all of that. Boom, coolest thing in the world. Again, their delivery extremely unique. No one else can do it, the whole nine. But where I give Prince the nod, I know I'm getting way off. This is supposed to be a recent finds video, but hey, I'm here to talk music. So, where Prince gets the nod of being a bit more genius than Michael Jackson is that Michael Jackson made everything he touched genius, just like Prince. But Prince was able to make stuff that other people touched genius. Michael couldn't quite, or never did. Maybe he could have, but I don't think he ever did that. Okay? And what I mean is, you take like all these songs. You take Jungle Love, you take Manic Monday, you take Nothing Compares. Other people took the work that he did, and it was just fantastic, total genius, and did not require the uniqueness of Prince to make it the mega hits that they were. Michael Jackson, on the other hand, he sings a song, it's the most amazing thing that you've heard. If you take a vast majority of Michael Jackson's songs and ask other artists to do them, they will be nowhere near the hits that they were when Mike did them. And two of my prime examples on that is like the song Torture, you know, off the Jacksons album. First verse, I don't remember which one of the brothers were singing. It's an okay R&B type of pop song. Michael comes in on the second verse. You could easily say if he would have done the whole song, you could have added that song to Thriller, and it would have fit right in with no problem. That's how amazing the song would have come. Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming, you know, off Jermaine Jackson's solo album. Jermaine does the first verse, again, decent, okay pop song. Mike comes in on the second verse, and you're like, holy cow, this is the most amazing thing ever. So that to me is what gives Prince a bit of the nod of genius over Michael Jackson. Is Prince could transfer his genius to other people, and Mike couldn't quite do that. Mike was the genius himself. So anyway, that's just a bit of blah 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 that I got into after getting this record and kind of talking about it. But fantastic stuff. Another find, which I didn't even know this was out, frankly, Honk by the Rolling Stones. It's just basically a greatest hits. Is it 71 to 88 or something like that? Or 81? I forgot the years, but this is something like that. But yeah, just kind of another Rolling Stones greatest hits. Found this for only 18 bucks too, which was nice. Um, but yeah, very, very good stuff. As you can see, kind of the track list there. A really good play off of, the Rocks, that greatest hits, which is more of their earlier stuff. And here you go into, Start Me Up, Brown Sugar, Miss You, Mixed Emotions, Beast of Burden, and kind of, going into that 80s period. So a very nice compliment to the Rocks. And I think if you don't have a lot of Rolling Stones, albums, that Rock's greatest hits and this would be two great pieces to have to really give you a really good Rolling Stones collection. The Young Rascals. This is one I've been needing to replace for quite some time after I purged a pretty rough copy a few years ago. Of course, this has their big hit "Good Lovin'" on there. This is a more recent reissue on the Sundays level, but it was a brand new sealed copy for only $6, so I wasn't going to pass that up. So great addition to some good old classic 60s rock right there. And last but not least, on the vinyl side, little Greg Allman. I always say Allman, as in the nut. Allman. This is Laid Back. Again, it's another one of his classic solo pieces, Midnight Rider, Queen of Hearts, Please Call Home. Just, Greg doing his awesome thing. Really, really cool band. I guess solo here, but, the Allman Brothers in general. Great band, awesome music. So much tragedy throughout the history of that band, too, which I think sometimes doesn't get enough attention, so to speak, but... And so then some of the deluxe CDs I'll share here. I guess there's one more record I did get, but it's probably not staying in the collection. I've been having a hard time finding a copy of this, which is a Whitney Houston, self-titled. This is probably the third copy I have, or I've picked up here and there. As you can see, cover, fantastic condition. Going in, looking at the vinyl, as I looked at it in this store that I was in, and I'm just like, okay, I don't think it gets any cleaner than that. No scuffs, no marks. Wasn't very dusty or anything of that nature. But then I put it on, and the first song on side on side one, is You Give Good Love, which is one of my favorite songs by her. And it's such a quiet intro to that song that I cannot tolerate any type of pops or crackles or anything during the playback. And of course, this one has a few there, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Look how clean this thing is. And then I tried even cleaning it again, and so this is just one of those albums that I'm just not going to settle until I get one that, from a clean standpoint, plays like a CD, because I just, I don't know. So anyway, that's another great, fantastic copy. Again, most people wouldn't even recognize probably what I'm bitching about on that, but that's where my little anal collecting habits have gone. So anyway, let me move along to deluxe CDs. So I have like 5 of them here. First one here, which is Bad Company, self-titled. And this is my first Japanese CD, with the Obi as far as deluxe CDs go. So number one, not a bad album to start with at all. But yeah, so another really nice piece to the collection, and I do love this album. Probably my favorite Bad Company album. Doesn't have all my favorite songs on here, but from front to back, my favorite Bad Company album. It's just as pure blues rock and roll as you can get. Most of the stuff is more slow paced, closer to a ballad type of tempo, but with Rogers and his vocals and just it's just pure blues, just what rock and roll is supposed to be, especially during this time. So fantastic addition there. Then you got The Who, My Generation. Of course, everyone knows that one. Another classic, and the nice deluxe slipcase edition there. as well as James Brown, Live at the Apollo, Volume 2. Another great pickup there. And I keep putting this out there too. Just want you guys to know if anyone has any of these slipcase deluxe CDs, I'm really into collecting those right now. So I have a good chunk of stuff to trade. So definitely reach out and let me know if you have some of these in great condition that you are wanting to unload. Lenny Kravitz, Are You Gonna Go My Way? Another nice deluxe piece that I picked up. And last but not least, the one and only Pavarotti. This is Greatest Hits. Just a nice little 2 CD set, which again, of course, has my favorite song by him, which is Nessa Dorma. Love that track. Really displays the power of his vocals. And then the last 3 CDs I want to show. Again, I've been picking up a lot of CDs here and there because, it's great because they're so freaking cheap these days. But these are 3 in particular I did want to share. The first one, and I have to give thanks to Dots and Loops on this one. For those of you that know his channel, gigantic psych guy. I mean, his knowledge in that arena is just, it's scary, quite frankly. So I've been watching his channel and picking up on a lot of just some of the different things he's been sharing on that psychedelic side, because that's one area in my collecting and actually one area in my music knowledge that I'm just not very knowledgeable about. I hear stuff I like and it's freaking awesome, but when you start asking me bands and this album, and like I am on the very first step of trying to understand and learn more about that. So his channel has been extremely informative, and if you guys have suggestions as well, always let me know, because I love to discover more. And he was doing a video which was like his 10 most desired or something like that. It was like, the grails, the rare stuff. And this was the very last one he mentioned, and I don't think it was in the top 10. It was like a honorable mention, or the one that was really out of reach, or something like that. Anyway, it was a Fraction Blood Moon. And after he mentioned it, I looked up a few of the songs on YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah. So I was able to pick up the CD, and again, great addition to the Psych collection. And Dots, man, I just have to thank you for that, because totally your introduction right there. But that's really kind of the stuff, I like. All this stuff on here isn't just totally, crazy heavy or whatever. But in general, I really tend to like that very, deep, distorted, fuzz guitar, heavy type of psychedelic stuff. That's just that stuff that really kind of appeals to me. Like one of my favorite songs is a song by Fever Tree, Where Do You Go? Like, just the sounds of the guitars and the vocals and everything in that is just what psych means to me. So if you know stuff that's in that realm, please share it with me. Would definitely appreciate it. Another pickup, Bad Brains. This is Into the Future, one of their more recent releases. One of the most talented bands out there. I've said that forever. You got these 4 black guys with dreads that do punk, hardcore, reggae, quite frankly, metal as good as anybody. And they go with what they feel. I mean, just true artists. This is just one of their many fantastic records. My favorite song off of that one would probably be the track, I'd say Popcorn is probably my favorite song off of that one. And last but not least, wanted to share this. Picked this up brand new for only $3, but just wanted to kind of share it because it is the one and only, sorry about the glare, Lena Horne. This is Lena Soul. And just wanted to share this because I just freaking love Lena Horne. And I don't even know a ton about her music yet. I'm still very much in the early stages of discovering her. But between her and Dionne Warwick, they are just 2 ladies that have always just exuded so much class in the way they carry themselves, their music, their careers. I mean, I've just always respected that about them. It's like when I see them, when I listen to them and all of that, it's all I can think is freaking class, man. And so that's definitely a big piece that I respect about him. So again, just wanted to kind of share that because I did pick this up the other day, and fantastic little CD there. So anyway, there you go, VC. That's a 25-minute ramble. Thanks for watching as always. I will be doing a response to my contest video. I'll probably, maybe today, maybe sometime tomorrow, and I'll be doing my room tour as well. I'm gonna do just a little bit more of a detailed tour than I've done in the previous couple of years. I usually do a tour video each year, so I'll maybe kind of just talk about it a little bit more than I did in my previous video. But yeah, be looking for that pretty soon. But yeah, thanks for watching as always, and we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.